Okay, SpongeBob fans, let's face the facts. Mr. Eugene Harold Krabs is a horrible person in the disguise of an honest businessman, and he has done a lot of despicable deeds over the years. And let's face the facts, he seriously needs to be locked up. Hi everyone, this is Keyblade Mackay writer Nathan, and today I will be discussing an updated version of why Mr. Krabs from the SpongeBob SquarePants franchise should be arrested. Reason number 10, breaking and entering. In the episode Midlife Crustacean, Mr. Krabs is going through a serious midlife crisis, and he unwisely turns to SpongeBob and Patrick for help. However, their wild night on the town turns out to be pretty damn mild, to say the least, until Patrick lets Mr. Krabs in on the final activity of the night, the panty raid. As if sneaking into a poor, unsuspecting woman's house and stealing her underwear wasn't bad enough, Mr. Krabs ends up breaking into his elderly mother Betsy's house. While Mr. Krabs didn't get in trouble with the law, he's still got a good old-fashioned grounding from his mom. Breaking and entering is punishable with a year in jail. Number 9. Counterfeiting. In the Krabby Chronicle, Mr. Krabs decides to start publishing his own newspaper and even goes as far as to have SpongeBob write bogus lies about his friends by threatening to confiscate his spatula. However, after all the lies he wrote, SpongeBob writes a story that tells the truth behind Krabs' actions, and the furious customers take their money back by force. Mr. Krabs then uses a leftover dollar in his printing press to make fake money. This isn't the only time he's used fake money. As shown in One Course Meal, which I will get to eventually, Mr. Krabs is seen paying SpongeBob and Squidward Wacky Bucks, his own business currency. The U.S. Bureau of Engraving and Printing is what really is behind the legal U.S. currency, and the reason why Mr. Krabs can't print fake money is because real U.S. dollars have red and blue synthetic fibers. Counterfeiting is a serious felony, and Mr. Krabs could end up with a $250,000 fine and a year in prison or jail. Number 8. Aggravated assault. In the episode The Two Faces of Squidward, SpongeBob accidentally injures Squidward with the door, and when Squidward gets out of the hospital, his face is suddenly handsome. SpongeBob and Squidward make a run for it and head to the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs is elated by how many customers there is, but only due to Squidward's handsome looks. It took several more hits to his face, but Squidward was returned back to normal. This causes the customers to leave. This prompts Mr. Krabs to purposely slam the door on Squidward's face repeatedly to try and make him look handsome again. Aggravated assault is a serious felony, which has a penalty of 10 to 20 years in prison. Number 7. Grave robbing. In the episode One Krabs' Trash, Mr. Krabs is having a yard sale and he sells SpongeBob a novelty drink hat, but when several people arrive asking to buy the hat, Mr. Krabs goes to extreme lengths to try and get the hat back, and even went as far as to try and scare SpongeBob by pretending to be the ghost of the hat's original owner. The plan backfires and SpongeBob does return the hat to its original owner. As such, Mr. Krabs digs up the grave, exhumes the body, and steals the hat off the owner's corpse. As a result, Mr. Krabs ends up in a all-night battle against undead skeletons. Mr. Krabs returns to the buyers, but learns that the drink hat is pretty much virtually worthless. Mr. Krabs might not have gotten charged for this crime, but he was certainly mentally scarred by it. The penalty for grave robbing ranges from a Class B felony to a Class C misdemeanor, meaning that Mr. Krabs could either be sentenced to 3 months to 20 years in prison, fined up to either $500 or $15,000, or both. Number 6. Animal cruelty. In the episode Jellyfish Hunter, after discovering that the customers like SpongeBob's new Krabby Patty with jellyfish jelly, Mr. Krabs decides to have SpongeBob hunt and capture all the jellyfish in jellyfish fields. However, unbeknownst to SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs had opened a jellyfish sweatshop in which he squeezes, stretches, and juices the poor creatures and possibly even kills them. However, SpongeBob had help from the blue jellyfish, No Name, who was later renamed Friend, in liberating the jellyfish, and Mr. Krabs ends up getting painfully zapped as a means of karmic justice. This isn't the only time he's shown cruelty to animals, as shown in The Scent of Money, and where Mr. Krabs uses SpongeBob's pet sea snail, Gary, as a money finder. This took a major toll on Gary's health, but Mr. Krabs did not give a flying fuck. It got to the point when Mr. Krabs tried to steal all the change in the local video arcade, and ended up getting hospitalized by a coin tsunami, and later got a monstrous hospital bill. The punishment wasn't that severe, though. Mr. Krabs could either be facing a $1,000 fine or a year in prison. But of course, since Mr. Krabs is a parsimonious, cheap-ass crustacean, he would rather take the prison sentence. Number 5. Attempted enforced suicide. I'm sorry, but this is seriously dark. In the episode One Course Meal, Mr. Krabs makes the discovery of Plankton having cetophobia, meaning that he is afraid of whales, and as such dresses up like his daughter Perla as a means of psychologically tormenting Plankton, to the point that Plankton actually attempts to take his own life by being run over by the 415 bus. What the fuck, Krabs? Mr. Krabs and Plankton may have been former friends turned arch enemies and business rivals for years now. This is just fucking sickening. Enforced suicide, even if it's an attempt, is a fourth-degree felony, which means Mr. Krabs could be facing over 10 years in prison. Number 4. Theft. This has occurred in several episodes. As shown in Life of Crime, we see that Mr. Krabs has stolen several items from the denizens of Bikini Bottom, such as a pickle barrel from Salty Sea Farms, a towel from the Sizzling Spring Sauna, a Bikini Bell phone, Sandy Cheeks' hedge clippers, Plankton's lawnmower, and Mrs. Puff's hair curlers. Mr. Krabs then proceeds to lie about the hair curlers being a gift and about borrowing all the other stuff. In The Smoking Peanut, Mr. Krabs took a free day at the zoo way too far and stole a pearl belonging to a performing circus clam, which later revealed to be the clam's egg. And in The Patty Caper, he stole his own Krabby Patty secret formula to avoid paying the delivery fee and attempted to frame SpongeBob for it. Krabs actually does get arrested for his crime, but faces a punishment that's even worse than jail. Watching SpongeBob give away free Krabby Patties for one whole day, since he is against free meals. The penalty for theft depends on the volume of the item in question. If the stolen item values less than $1,000, then Mr. Krabs would be facing a year in jail. However, if the stolen item valued at $1,000 or higher, then Mr. Krabs would be facing 10 years in prison. Number 3. Food poisoning. I will cover 2 episodes for this one. In Patty Hype, where Mr. Krabs sells pretty patties, which were Krabby Patties covered by unknown substances, possibly house paint, to 46,853 customers. The customers' skins and tongues were dyed different colors. In The Krusty Sponge, Mr. Krabs sells spongy patties, which were Krabby Patties left out of the freezer for too long, causing the customers to be sick to their stomachs and jaundiced. The penalty for food poisoning is 5 years in prison. Number 2. Violation of labor laws. Mr. Krabs has been shown committing various labor crimes in various episodes. In Fear of a Krabby Patty, Mr. Krabs opens the Krusty Krab for 24 hours just to one-up Plankton, and has his employees work 43 days straight without breaks to even go home, sleep, or use the bathroom, and as a result, SpongeBob and Squidward are driven into madness. In Big Pink Loser, and it's revealed that Mr. Krabs has his employees pay him for every use of service. What the shit? In Squid on Strike, Mr. Krabs has charged his employees for the most ridiculous reasons, such as breathing, standing, talking, and even existing. $1 for breathing, $5 for talking, $10 for standing, $2 for existing, $2 for lollygagging, and $1 for chewing. This added up to a whopping $21. The penalty for violation of labor laws is if you violate it one time, you get a $10,000 fine, whereas the second offense results in jail time. Finally, number 1, attempted murder. I will be covering 2 episodes for this. In the episode The Nasty Patty, after hearing a news report about a criminal passing himself off as a fake health inspector in order to obtain a free meal, Mr. Krabs starts to believe that Health Inspector Yellowtail is the phony inspector. So he has SpongeBob cook up a disgusting Krabby Patty. He thought that he ate the patty, but it was actually a fly going into his mouth, resulting in him choking, and Mr. Yellowtail hit the back of his head on the table and was knocked out. When the real culprit had been captured, Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob freak out because they thought they had killed the real health inspector. After several close calls, Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob passed the health inspection, and in Out of the Picture, an art dealer tells Mr. Krabs that Squidward's artwork would be worth more money if the artist was, quote, out of the picture. So Mr. Krabs has Squidward go on ridiculous deliveries in hopes that he wouldn't come back. But when that all backfires, he attempts to straight up murder Squidward with a mallet. If he tried to stunt like that in real life, Mr. Krabs would be facing life in prison without a chance at parole. So I think it's safe to say that Mr. Krabs is an absolute madman posing as a businessman and is causing the people of Bikini Bottom more problems than Plankton. The final verdict for Mr. Eugene H. Krabs is 1 life sentence in prison and $250 billion in fines. Next time, I will be discussing the top 10 reasons why the Krusty Krab should be shut down. This is Keyblade Kai writer Nathan signing off. See you later and have a good one. Ciao!